Welcome to Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living Wednesday Inspiration Service. Welcome to all of you on YouTube, watching online. We're so grateful for your presence here today, and we're so grateful for all of you who have showed up in person. Our speaker today is the one and only best day ever, Reverend Valerie Reeves. She's got like a trademark, like a signature, best day ever. Good to see everyone. Thank you for being here. And let's begin as we always do with prayer. Let's turn within. Thank you, Reverend Valerie, for leading the meditation. And so we just turn within in this moment to remember who we are and what this life is. That there's only one life. One power, one presence, one infinite mind, infinite intelligence, one infinite presence of love, of wholeness, of harmony. And that this one indwells each of us, that we are each divine expressions of this one. And so therefore we are whole, perfect, complete, divine expressions of the one, connected to spirit, intimately connected to spirit because we are spirit, and intimately connected to each other because we are each other. We are one. We are one. And so in this oneness, I bless this service today. I know that each one brings exactly what they were to bring in terms of their presence and their energy and their essence and maybe questions and maybe whatever. And that each one receives also exactly what they are here to receive. I know that our speaker, Reverend Valerie Reeves, is this beautiful, amazing, divine vehicle through which Spirit does wondrous things today. We are inspired, we are uplifted, maybe even transformed. And so I know that good is taking place here today, and we are all the beneficiaries of that good. I bless it, I give thanks for it, I let it be, and we establish it together with, and so it is. Yes. We have a few announcements today. Are you surprised? Do we have some announcements? I'm Reverend Gregory Toole. What a pleasure it is to be here with all of you and to have Reverend Valerie here today. So let's see. We're having an installation. We're having a party. You all know we're having a party? March 21st, my installation service, but it's more than about me. An installation service is really about a community dedicating itself and a community coming together to say, okay, we're going to come together and reestablish who we are. And so that will be March 21st, 6 p.m. On your way out of here today, if you haven't done so already, you can RSVP, because we are catering this event, and the caterer wants to know how many people are going to be there. So if you haven't officially RSVP'd, just stop by the desk on your way out. Doris will be happy to write your name down, and we would be really happy to have you there. It's going to be so much fun. It's a ceremony in here, and then we'll have a reception out there with some little surprises, all kind of good stuff. Linda Gautier's painting workshop has been rescheduled. And so it's March 14th and 15th now, and you can see the flyer out there and sign up for it at the front desk. And so not this weekend, but the following weekend. You can do either Friday or Saturday, the 14th, 15th. Thank you so much for all the bears and their friends that you donated, and now they have been shipped off. We had 214 stuffed animals, more than we've ever had to donate because of you all. You're amazing. Yeah, and we blessed them last Sunday, and the most beautiful, you all were so beautiful in blessing the bears this past Sunday, and we sent them off to these children who are in difficult situations, but will be lifted up by receiving not only the physical bears, but all of that energy of them sitting in our sanctuary, and then us putting our blessing on them last Sunday. We have a new date for our annual membership meeting because we have some bylaw changes. Our bylaws basically were written in 1962. And a lot of things, believe it or not, we're out of date in them. And we didn't quite get them ready for the first date that we had, but we do have them ready for April 13th. And so the new date is April 13th. We'll distribute the bylaws to you ahead of time. We'll have a session where you can ask questions about them. For those of you who care about bylaws, they're really just about the legalese, about how we operate and all of that sort of thing. But if you are inclined, you can come to that meeting. We'll answer any questions you have about the new bylaws. And also, we have some positions open on the Board of Trustees. So if that's something that calls to you, if you're a member and that's something that calls to you to serve on the board, which is the sort of overseeing the business aspects of the church, the financial, as well as all other business things, talk to Mark Ruth, our board president, and he'll ask you to write up a one-page letter about why you want to serve. Or if you don't know how to find Mark Ruth, just come talk to me and I'll make sure that you get in touch. Today, after our service, is our Labyrinth Walk. So this is the first time we're doing it on Wednesday. From now on the first Wednesday of every month, after you're here, you can go out there and walk the Labyrinth. How sweet is that? So that will be today until 1 p.m. in Richelieu Hall. And this Friday and Saturday, Reverend Valerie Reeves has her hypnosis class, and I'm sure she'll be happy to answer any questions you have about that. There is a flyer out there in the lobby. So if that calls to you, join Valerie Reeves. I know it'll be an amazing class. Next Sunday, don't forget to put your clock forward. That's one of my favorite things to do. Daylight savings time, clock goes forward. Next week, it'll be like still daylight at 7 p.m. Oh, yeah, that's going to be great. This Sunday is our women's circle. We'll be meeting this time in the sanctuary because we have a few other things going on. So the women's circle this Sunday, 12:30, will be right here in the sanctuary. Thursday, March 13th, Elaine Yuzuki, one of our practitioners, is offering a study group in Spanish that is on this thing called You. And the book, This Thing Called You in Spanish, will be at 12 p.m. Our next ecstatic dance, for those of you who want to get ecstatic, for those of you who want to move your bodies and be so free in moving your bodies and so freed up after moving your body, come to ecstatic dance on March 13th, so not this Thursday, but next Thursday at 6 p.m. Ryan Agushi will be our DJ, and I kind of open us and close us and create some space for us to be in like this delightful space. So join us for ecstatic dance. How many of you have done ecstatic dance so far now? I only see one hand. What? Only one? Oh, there's another hand back there. Wow, you all got to check it out. Oh, there we go. Kenneth has done it, yes. You all got to check it out. It is so like healing, uplifting, freeing, and there's no one's looking at you. You know, everyone's just doing their thing. It'll be the most freeing movement you've ever done in your life. All right? How about that? For a full list of our activities, see the weekly e-newsletter, Spirit Speaks magazine, and the activity table outside here. And we have handouts for Season for Nonviolence. No flyer for the Bears of Love anywhere. That's done. Looking for a meaningful new gift or a new read, our bookstore is back. Bookstore is back, baby. Stop by and check out all the wonderful things we have. Lisa and Joe do such a great job in there. And, you know, if nothing else, go in there and get all that love. They are such a loving presence. So go into the bookstore, get all that love. Yes. And finally, a big thank you to all of our wonderful volunteers. We appreciate you all so much. That's what makes the center go. You know, churches are primarily run by volunteers. A lot of people don't realize that. So all of you who step into various roles are what keeps this center going. So thank you so much. And so now, finally, without further ado, let's give a really warm, loving welcome to Reverend Valerie Reeves.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so great to be here. Best day ever. Yes. Yes. So we claim it, and so we get to just step into it. Do you feel it? Do you feel the healing energy in here? The love, the peace, the joy, the goodness. So we'll just immerse ourselves in that. I love it when we all come together to remind ourselves of the divinity that we are, the goodness, the greatness, the love, the peace, because sometimes I need reminding. Anybody else? Once in a while, it's like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot who I was. As Reverend Gregory was talking about ecstatic dance, I was thinking of my granddaughter. She just turned 6, my youngest one. I have 2. And the youngest one just turned 6 on Sunday. And I said, oh, you're such a great dancer. We should put you in dance lessons. And she's like, why? I already know how to dance. I'm like, I know, right? And there's so many things that we already know how to do, and yet we hold ourselves back. Anyone hold themselves back? Yeah. So today my talk is about that still small voice, because there's something inside of us that is urging us to continue to grow and to be all that we can be, and to listen to that voice and just keep moving forward and saying, yes, I can do this, and putting down the ego self part that's saying, no, not good enough. Oh yeah, that still small voice, there it is. And tuning into it. Have any of you ever had a situation where your intuition was saying one thing, but it's like the mind was saying, no, go do this. And then you're like, kicking yourself, because it's like, oh, I should have listened to that small voice that said, go this way. Trust that intuition. Ernest Holmes, who wrote The Science of Mind and took all of these great teachers, philosophers, from Jesus to Socrates to Troward to Emerson, and pulled it all together. Emma Curtis Hopkins, so many great minds that were big thinkers, putting them all together and tuning in to that inner knower that's guiding and directing and reminding us to listen to that still small voice. I was listening to that still small voice this morning, and I opened up a book, and it was giving me some newsletter typos, which is always fun. So a newsletter typos. Anybody ever do a typo? And now we have wonderful, even though we say the right word, it could be spelled different, or it could be changed into something. So here's a typo. For next Sunday is the church picnic. Bring your own hot dogs and guns. Whoops. I mean, buns, yeah. Smile at someone who is hard to love. Say hell to someone who doesn't care much about you. I think we meant hello, for sure. The over 60s choir will be disbanded for the summer with thanks. Yeah, so wrong. While the minister is on vacation, massages will be given to the church secretary. Sure, Doris would be happy to hear that. The outreach committee will make calls to people who are not afflicted with any church. The audience is asked to remain seated until the end of the recession. That could be a long time. So we tune into our intuition that's guiding and directing us, and I love it when my intuition speaks loudly, and the more I calm myself and meditate every day, the easier it is to listen to my intuition, putting that ego self down. It takes me back to Thich Nhat Hanh, and I know I've shared this story with some before, but he had his little niece visiting him, and he made some homemade apple cider, and he mixed it up, and some of her friends came over, and as the sediment went to the bottom, he's pouring the cups, and the last cup was for her, because everybody's grabbing the juice, and it was all pulpy. And she said, oh, mine's all dirty. And he said, it's okay, it'll still taste good. I'm gonna go meditate. So we went to meditate, and she's like, Uncle Monk, I'm just a little girl, I need better juice. He's like, you're going to be fine. So pretty soon she's knocking on the door, and she's like, Uncle Monk, look it. My juice is clear. It's like all the sediment had gone to the bottom. And she said, now I understand why you meditate. So everything can calm down and you can see clearly. So I'm reminded of that every time I go into meditation. It's like I'm just letting everything settle down so I can see clearly, and I can see what's my clear, right, and perfect path, and I can follow that intuition. Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind says this: And I have some quotes that will magically appear up on the wall. Nothing can hurt or disturb my spiritual self. I am free and safe. All plans and ideas can wait until later. My mind is quiet, calm, and deeply still. My body rests in the still silence of spirit. So when I'm resting, I'm tuning into that inner guidance, because it's really easy to get caught up in our own mind stuff, right? Have so many distractions. So many distractions. So every time I move, I allow myself only 3 boxes of books. Anybody else accumulate books like I do? So I try to keep down to a minimum of 3 boxes. And when I finish a class, I usually give books out. It's like, okay, everybody in my class gets a bag with a book in it. Whatever book you get is going to be right and perfect. So I show up today, and Grant's got all these books on his desk, and I'm like, oh, I start grabbing stuff, and it's like, no. Time to let go. Time to let go. I don't need that. Most of my books I listen to on Audible anyway. It's like, are you really going to read that? And it reminded me of how we keep searching for things out there instead of looking for things in here. This will fill me up. This will fill me up. This will make me feel better. This is what I need because the answers are there. Yet the answers are right within us. And what I've found for myself is like the more I clear things out, the more I can see things clearly. If we have a cluttered mind, then the clutter tends to be out here. And if the clutter is out here, then it's clutter in here. And then when we're holding on to stuff, because sometimes people just hold on. Outfits from 1970s, I don't need those anymore, right? So we let those go. And then we can see clearly, and making sure that we're getting rid of the old, making room for the new. And I'm talking about this because spring is just a couple weeks away. The first day of spring is happening on March 20th. So doing some spring cleaning, and then making sure that we are keeping things clear, because everything takes energy, including our thoughts. And we have so many people and things and stuff in our lives. It's like, okay, remember the cousin, remember the aunt, remember the grandparents, remember this, remember that. And it's like so much stuff in our minds. It's like, could I just put it all down and be fully present in the moment, just breathing in the fullness of life, knowing everything that's right in front of me is perfect. And that I don't need all of that stuff and things out there, because we may go grab stuff and things. It's going to make me feel better for maybe, an hour. And then there's more, and then there's more. Because I've seen a lot of people get caught up into the distractions of life instead of quieting the busy monkey mind chatter of the conscious mind. It's like if I could just quiet that conscious mind and go directly into the subconscious mind where everything happens. Because we move in the direction of our most dominant thought. Our dominant thought is going into our subconscious mind. So what is your dominant thought? I talked to somebody early this morning, and she was talking about still feeling like she's not enough, and the stories from the past. It's like, put that story down. And it's like right here, right now, everything is perfect. Don't talk yourself out of your greatness. Be here. Don't drag that story with you. I still really love the analogy when you get in your car and you hit the GPS. It doesn't say, where have you been? What garbage are you bringing with you? It just says, where are you and where are you going? So getting clear about where we're going and then tuning into that inner knower that says, go this way, go that way, tune in here, call this person, walk through that door. And keeping that mantra inside of you that things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. And best day ever, of course, that's my mantra. But also tuning into I am always enough. Life is good and life is very good. That we don't have to get caught up into the story. There was a lady walking by a house, and there was a dog laying on the porch, just moaning and crying. And so she asked the owner, she's like, why is your dog crying? And he said, oh, because he's laying on a nail. She's like, well, why doesn't he get off? It doesn't hurt bad enough. It only hurts bad enough to whine and complain about it, not to do anything about it. So sometimes we may find ourselves in that space in life where we're whining and complaining about something and not doing anything about it. So it's like, what is mine to do today? What can I do to be in a happy space? What can I do in this moment? Sometimes for me, it might be pull out the Play-Doh or get some crayons, do something creative, or take a walk. take a breath, do some jumping jacks, because if we get oxygen to our mind, then we've got more energy. Or just count the blessings. Counting our blessings and being in that space of gratitude, and then quiet our mind to listen to that still small voice that says, do this, do that. Go to the mirror, remind yourself how divine and perfect you are. As spiritual entities, before we come into the human existence, it's like there's so much excitement to come into the human existence. And then we get to the human existence, it's like, yeah, this is enough. I'm done. And then excited to go to the next level. It's about embracing every single moment, being excited to be alive, and being excited for the next journey and the next journey and the next journey. And yet being fully present in the moment. What can I be grateful for today? In this moment. And there's so much. Emma Curtis Hopkins, who was such a brilliant teacher, one of Ernest Holmes' amazing teachers, she said, if you look up, then you can get up. Just take your eyes up to the next level. She's the one that she wrote this with some beautiful words that we sing a song to. It's like, okay, I want to walk, and I want to be aware of everything around me. Let me talk and be aware of what I'm saying, because sometimes we're just spouting out words and not being aware. Because I'm teaching the hypnosis class on Friday and Saturday. I've done hypnosis since 1995. Did clinical hypnosis, did some stage hypnosis. Were any of you here when I did a stage show here in like 2016? You were here, yeah. We had a teenager who I said, when the music starts, you will become Dr. Moira. You will answer questions in the Dr. Moira fashion. She was fabulous. She was Dr. Moira on steroids, answering questions just in the true Irish, beautiful fashion that Dr. Moira was. But when I started doing stage hypnosis, I had to think of it as, okay, this is laughter therapy. Laughter is the best medicine. I know people are going to laugh, not take themselves so seriously, but I've learned so much about the subconscious mind. And one of the first shows I was doing was back in Nebraska, because that's where I'm from. And it was at the college there in my hometown. And I had about 350 people in the audience. I had 24 people on stage, more than I normally do. And normally when I close a show, I say, okay, when the music comes on, you will jump up out of your seats and you will inspire people to do the YMCA with you. I changed one word. I clicked on the music, 24 people on stage, ran off stage. Because what I said, when the music comes on, you will jump up out of your seats and you will get people to do the YMCA with you. So the music came on, 24 people ran off stage, and I had to think about, what did I say? Instead of saying you will inspire people to do the YMCA, I said you will get people. So 24 people on stage ran off stage to get people to do the YMCA with you. And it was such a great lesson for me to be very mindful of the words that we're saying, because every thought, every belief, every word is going into our subconscious mind. So if everything is going into my subconscious mind and we're moving in the direction of our most dominant thought, then I want to make sure that the thoughts that I have are beautiful, whole, perfect, complete, and I'm healthy, wealthy, wise. I make great decisions. My oldest son's mantra is always, things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. I said, I think you got that from me. And he's like, no, I think you got that from me. So it's like, it's a great mantra though. Things are always working out for me. Even in the appearance of things, oh, that doesn't look like it's working out. It's like, it is working out. There's always something bigger, something better, something great going on. And if we could look at everything backwards, it's like we would go back and say, oh, yes, thank God that happened, because then this happened, and this happened, and this happened. We can't connect the dots going forward, although we can visualize exactly what we want, but we can connect the dots going backwards. If that hadn't happened, then that wouldn't have happened, and then I wouldn't have met that person and this person, and I wouldn't be where I am right now, which is beautiful and perfect. So being excited about where we are and what's happening, and being so mindful of what thoughts we're putting in our mind. What things am I visualizing? What things am I verbalizing? And what am I feelingly believing about myself and about life? Because would it hurt anyone else if you thought you were just all that in a bag of chips? No. If you could breathe all the air that you can breathe, would that take any air away from anyone else? No. So we take nothing from anyone else when we allow ourselves to have everything that we want and everything that we choose. So getting in that space of, I'm okay to have exactly what I want. Ernest Holmes goes on to say this: there's an intelligence in the universe to which we may tune in. It is not only knowledge, it is everything that knows. So if I can know that without a shadow of a doubt, I can know that the brilliant minds of the past are flowing right where I am. I can just breathe in those thoughts and know. I can just breathe in those thoughts and allow myself the love and the goodness and the greatness that's flowing. Getting excited about life. I have another beautiful quote. Here in our secret place of the Most High, the inner chamber of our own soul, are written sacred words, I am, conceived in silent recognition. So using those powerful words of I am, we want to make sure that we are listening to what we're saying to ourselves. Because sometimes we might be saying, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I don't feel well. And it's like, okay, delete, let me let go of that. And say, I have all the energy of the universe. And tonight, I'm going to have the best night's sleep ever. So that we're not getting caught up into conditions, but we're getting caught up into what is working for me. And making sure that we're cleaning out our spaces so that we allow space for something new to come in. I say to someone that's looking for relationships, and there's a lot of people right now looking for relationships, I'm like, okay, great. Clean your closet, make room, make space. Make it welcome, whatever it is that you're wanting. Want more money? Clean your purse, clean your billfold. Make space for it. Reorganize your bank accounts. I always say clear out. If I feel like I'm lacking anything, like there's not enough time, there's not enough money, there's not enough goodness, that's when I go clean stuff out. It's like, what can I give away? What can I let go of? Because the universe abhors a vacuum. So it's like, okay, the more I can clear out spaces and make room for more, then the universe says, yes, yes, yes. Let me let go of this and make room for this. And know that we always have everything that we're wanting, everything that we desire, and that something wonderful is always happening, even despite things that are happening that may not look like, oh, that's the best thing ever, right? Because there's a lot of things that may be happening, and it's like, okay, out there in the world, let me make sure that in here I am safe, I am loved, I am protected, and I know that I can look at things that are happening as a neutral observer. I don't have to jump into the crazy pool of dysfunction. I don't have to get into the anger or frustration about things, how I want things to be. The best thing I can do, the best thing any of us can do, is go to that space of peace and send that ripple of love, because we're all connected, and in that connection of life, the more I'm at love, peace, and harmony, goodness, abundance, gratitude, then I get to send it out into the universe and remind myself that something wonderful is always unfolding. Not trying to complete the story, because sometimes we're trying to complete, okay, because this is happening and this is happening, this is what's going to happen. It's like, I don't know that yet. Let me be in the right here, right now, bring myself back to my heart, tap my heart and say, come from love. Let me see love in everyone and everything. Let me be at that goodness space. Let me breathe in the fullness of life. Knowing that as I breathe, I'm not taking from anyone, but I'm sending love out to everyone. And keeping my space in that beautiful, peaceful space that goodness is happening. I know I have another quote. Wisdom comes when one is able to be still. Just look, just listen. Nothing else is needed. Stillness, looking, and listening activates the non-conceptual intelligence that nestles within you. Let stillness direct your words and your actions. Which then means taking a moment before we react to something so that we can respond appropriately. Let me not have that knee-jerk reaction every time something's happening. Let me sit in the stillness, in the space, and take a moment to take a breath and to know intelligence is flowing through me. Let me come from the intelligent, beauty, love, perfection space. Let me get excited about life. What would you do today to bring you full excitement? So I got up super early this morning so that I could have some time at the ocean, because I don't always get time at the ocean. And there were dolphins today. I'm like, yes, of course there were dolphins. Of course there would be. And there was a guy out there paddle boating, and the dolphins were just swimming around. So I'm videotaping it and sending it to my friends and family in the Midwest that are having snow and cold right now. It's like, oh, best day ever for you. And I'm like, best day ever always, right? When there's dolphins, there's magic. And I know the magic is happening, and it's happening right here where we are. So we just allow that magic to go from the top of our head to the tips of our toes and immerse ourselves in the love, the magic, the goodness. And so my charge to you today is to get out there and have the best day ever. What's going to give you the most joy? Labyrinth, yes, that'll be great. I'm so glad it's on Wednesdays now, so I'll be able to partake. So that's fantastic. And it's like the ocean is just a few blocks away. There's that. What would make you have the best day ever? Finding the gratitude. Give out at least 3 compliments. Think about people you love and stay in that gratitude space. And so I feel like a coach, so get out there and play on fire. And so it is. So it is. Yeah, when they start blinking the light, I'm like, okay. It is time for that giving time. And Ruth is here today, so yay, thank you. Yay. So you can give online, you can give live and in person, and many different ways to give. You can go to the website. You can use the QR code, which is fun and easy. And Ruth is going to pass the basket while we say our giving affirmation all together. Wait for it. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. All those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. Thank you. I say a little different words up in Apple Valley, so I always have to read it because it's like, all right, I don't have either one of them memorized, and sometimes I travel to other centers. Speaking of traveling to other centers, I'm going to do just a little promo. I do have some flyers out there because the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, we are doing a retreat on May 16th through the 18th. There's there's a huge retreat center between Apple Valley and Lucerne Valley that has 900 acres, swimming pool, jacuzzi, a beautiful workshop room. We have our past CSL president. We have the beautiful and amazing Deborah and Ken Gordon, who were instrumental in taking us from Religious Science International and United Church of Religious Science to Centers for Spiritual Living, which is such a better branding for what we do. So I have flyers out in the lobby if anybody is interested. It's going to be the best, for sure. Good time to get away, go to the high desert. And now, thank you so much, Ruth, for doing that. Now I think we have Vincent's going to come around with the microphone. If you have comments, questions, words of wisdom, or looking for treatment, whatever is happening. Down here for Beverly.
Thanks, Vincent. Good morning. Thank you for that uplifting message. Last week, I asked for prayers for Marilyn with the brain tumor, and the news hasn't been too good. So I just got that this morning, and it's perfect timing because here I am to ask for assistance and prayer for her.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Okay, absolutely. So I'm just going to do a quick treatment now because I feel like I've already gone to the knowing space for Marilyn that, you know, in this oneness, in this cosmic soup, there is only one, that it flows through me as it flows through Beverly and through Marilyn and through all of us, that in this moment there is divine healing. There is the revealing of wholeness because We're all whole, perfect, and complete. So there's that revealing of the wholeness as the inner knower just knows that it knows that it knows that it knows the right and perfect steps each and every day. Knowing that there is love in the doctors, there is love in everyone that surrounds, that something wonderful and magical is unfolding. And in great gratitude, I just release my word knowing all is well. And so it is. So it is, yeah. Thank you. I love it when we can just go to that knowing space. Sometimes you just know that there's something wonderful is happening. And as enlightened as we all are, we can just know that all the time, right? Something wonderful is always happening, even in the face of something that doesn't look like that. It's like, okay, getting stronger, getting to know people that I didn't know, that life is good. Yeah. Anyone else? Comments, questions, words of wisdom? I thought, I'm going to wait for it. I know there's something. Great. Thanks, Sherry.
I'm feeling stuck in two different places. One is I want to go to work, and I am resisting doing anything about it. And the other is politically what's going on in my country, in my heart, is hurting. And I don't know how to let go of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I hear you. Yeah. Well, and really tuning in, it's like sometimes when we're just staying stagnant, it's like, okay, what in me doesn't want to move forward? And what could I do with that? So I'm going to know that that gets released easily. Or sometimes it's like, what is my fear? Am I afraid that I'll lose my freedom if I go do this? Am I afraid that somebody else will be the boss of me? Which nobody is ever the boss of you. You're always the boss of yourself, for sure. And so looking at either there's fear or there's love. And so when we look at the things out there in the world, we can step into fear, which my acronym for fear is forgetting every available resource. The biggest resource is spirit. So it's like when I've stepped into fear, I've stepped away from spirit. And so let me step back into that oneness, and it's like, there is only one, there's only one, there's only one. And if there's only one, then everything that's happening out here, I am connected on some level. So universe, clean up in me whatever is creating that disharmony or that appearance of stuff that I don't like. It's kind of like when we see somebody who's homeless on the street, and it's like, okay, not taking it on as guilt or anger, but universe, clean that up in me. Anything in me that is supporting that, clean that up in me. Because the greatest gift we can give the world is to be at that space of peace, love, harmony, goodness, knowing that something more is happening. And sometimes there's things out there that are a catalyst for change. So it's like, okay, I'm knowing that that's what's happening, that the pain pushes until the vision pulls. Maybe collectively, as it gets more painful, it's like, okay, as a vision, we're going to have a bigger vision and turn things over. And let me go to that space of meditation. I know we've all read stories where you get a group of 100 people going to Washington, D.C., and everybody meditating on peace, and all of a sudden crime goes down. We make an impact with our thoughts. And if I jump into fear, into anger, then I'm making an impact that I probably don't want to make. So it's like, okay, let me be a neutral observer when I'm observing things that are maybe on the news or things that are going on out there that are not making me happy. Let me go back into universe, since we're all one. Let me clean it up inside of myself. Let me be at a space where there's peace, there's love, there's joy, there's gratitude. Because the more I'm at that, then it ripples out to the people around me and the people around them and the people, and until it's all at that collective consciousness. It takes me back to the 100th monkey. I know many people have heard this story, but King Keyes wrote the book in the 70s, The 100th Monkey, where they would roll out the sweet potatoes to the little monkeys, and one of the monkeys found that, when it's all washed off with no sand, it's so much better. So I'm just interpreting what the monkey was thinking. So he's showing his little monkey friends and his monkey family until it hit the critical mass, or the 100th monkey. And then all of a sudden, monkeys all over the world were washing off their sweet potatoes. We see critical mass happen in so many different areas in life, in sales, and what's hot today, in fashion. So it's like hitting that critical mass. It starts with us. There was a wonderful singer that wrote the 100th monkey. Monkey see, monkey do, the 100th monkey may be you. And so as we tune into that space of peace and love and harmony, and recognize when we've stepped away from spirit, because there's either fear or there's love. Let me step back into love. And let me remember the acronym for getting every available resource when I'm in fear. Let me go back to love. And let me tap on my heart and breathe in and know that something good is coming out of all of this. Which then again reminds me of like the kid in the room with a whole pile of manure, and he's just going through it and saying, I know there's a pony here somewhere, right? So we may be going through a lot of manure, but there's a pony in here somewhere, I just know it. So let me stay at the enthusiasm, the love, the excitement that something wonderful is unfolding. And that's what I'm going to know for all of us. So let's take all of this love and this peace and this harmony, and anything that's not like that, let's keep removing it. Now, I just want to put a little caveat on that, because sometimes people say, oh, you people in science of mind, you just spiritual bypass everything and just pretend it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Well, it doesn't exist. However, if I'm having an issue with something and it keeps crawling up, let me do some writing and ripping. I call it purging on paper, so I can get that toxic anger, energy, or whatever it is out of me, rip it up, let it go. Because we sometimes have layers, let me do it again, until I can let it go. Because sometimes I just need to pause, I need to name it to be able to release it. And then to have the world that I want, what must I become in order to have the world I want? I must become love, peace, and harmony, and be the embodiment of that, regardless of everything else that's going on. Let me keep breathing in the fullness of life. I love the Gandhi, peace within, peace without. Can't have peace out here if I don't have peace in here. So let me be that peace, let me be that love, and let me keep sending it out there. So let's take all of this love and peace and harmony and go inside our heart of hearts, just breathing in the fullness of life, knowing that there is only one, that every thought individualized is part of that oneness. And collectively, as we come together, we know that in that oneness, that there is love, that we visualize a world that works for everyone, where everyone is loved and honored just as they are and just as they aren't. As we love, honor, and cherish ourselves just as we are and just as we aren't. And it starts with us right where we are, knowing that we are making a difference by the renewing of our mind. That we just say yes, yes, yes to goodness, yes to the unfoldment, yes to the creativity. And then we stay in that space of gratitude. I am so grateful for a beautiful life, a beautiful world, for a space where everyone honors everyone. I see it. I visualize it. I feelingly believe it. Knowing that collectively we are creating this world right here, right now, and in gratitude for each and every person, I just release my word knowing all is well. And so it is. All right. Now get out there and have the best day ever. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.